Hey everybody, good morning. It's Monday. And I get asked a lot how I get so much what done. Like, how do I do it all? I put out videos, I write books, I have my relationship with my kids, and there's a lot going on in my life. Like, I'm sure there's a lot going on in yours. And although I don't do it perfectly, I do have two top tools that I use to actually get shit done every day, and not just get things done, but really feel productive and happy and calm about doing it. So I'm going to give you my top two tools today. And I'm going to end with my favorite one. I'm going to start with a really quick fix, quick. And that is that it's not just sex that only takes 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes is your lifeline to being productive. And here's what I mean, what you're going to do. For now on, when you have something to do, whether it's, you go in that kitchen and you look and it's a crazy mess, or if you're looking at the garage or the backyard or whatever, or maybe you have some calls to make, or maybe whatever has been hanging on your list. What I want you to do from now on is set a timer for 15 minutes. It could be an old school kitchen timer. It can be the timer on your phone or your fancy Apple Watch or whatever. It doesn't matter. Set a timer for 15 minutes and then go. Clean the kitchen. Do whatever you can do in 15 minutes and just see how much you get done. You will be shocked at how much you get done. I'm amazed that when I do this and I go, let's say, clean the kitchen, I actually can clean the whole kitchen in 15 minutes, even though in my head it was going to be like hours and it was going to be so hard and I didn't want to do it. You'll be shocked. And it works so well with kids. So instead of telling your kids, hey, go clean your room, or I need you to, fold the laundry, whatever, say instead, okay, set the timer for 15 minutes and I want you to clean your room for 15 minutes. Whatever you get done, you get done. Now, you might need to monitor this to make sure that they don't get distracted by shiny things, which I know my children do as they're cleaning. They pick up something they unearth something they haven't seen in a while, and suddenly I go in to check on them and they're buried in a book or something they found. So you might have to be a little careful, but it works great. Instead of getting pushback from my kids, instead they're like, okay, and they just go do it. Because 15 minutes is just not that long, and they can hear it that way. Our adult brains hear it the same way. So 15 minutes is your secret. Try that with everything you have, and I would love to hear your comments and how well it worked for you. You can comment below the video. You can shoot me an email at abby@abbymedcalf.com, whatever floats your boat. Okay, but let's get to the really big one, the one that has changed my life. I started doing this years ago with the executives I worked with. And I have to tell you, as busy as I am, these executives, yes, they have help. Yeah, they can pay for, multiple people take care of their children, and cleaning ladies and gardeners and everything else. But their time is still super, super busy. And talk about time is money kind of thing. They really, getting things done and getting things off the quote unquote to-do list was just a huge issue. And I started using this with them years ago. This, by the way, also works so well for people with things like ADHD or any kind of attention issue, anything like that. It is an incredible hack. And I use it in my own life, and it has transformed the way I live. And here's what it is. No more to-do lists. What was that, Abby? What did you say? I think I heard you say no more to-do lists. Yes, that's what I told you. No more to-do lists. Here's what you're going to do instead. Because you know what happens when you have a to-do list, right? You have that little, maybe some of you, I know you, I see you out there, you have that pretty notebook you keep for your to-do list, or you have that perfect little notepad, or maybe you put it on the whiteboard at home. But what happens is we add things to our to-do list, and as you know, what happens with that list? If you were here talking to me, you would yell out, well, I do the things I like, or that they are the easiest first, and the ones I don't like cleaning the garage, end up back on the to-do list for the next day. Who's been there? Yeah, you can hallelujah from wherever you're sitting. So this is soul sucking, because what happens is your to-do list is always longer than what you can do in a day. So you have a constant to-do list in your head. You have a constant to-do list sitting there on a piece of paper. I know some of you say, well, I like doing the list and you like transferring the list from Monday to Tuesday and adding the new things. Give me a break. Get over it. No, get over this idea that the list is great or helpful, because it's really not. Instead, what I'd like you to do, so for anything, schedule an appointment with the doctor, call back a client, clean the garage, whatever it is, I want you to actually schedule it in your schedule. You heard me. Schedule it in your schedule. I see clients all day, right? Or I'm doing my Facebook Live, or I'm doing whatever I'm doing. I'm writing my blog posts. I'm writing, creating a course or something. I schedule out time all day for that. When my clients come, they don't just, 50 of them don't just come and sit in the waiting room, right? I have appointment slots. That's how it works. And that's how my day stays productive. And that's how I can really see what my day is like. I can really see how much time I have. So, for example, a couple weeks ago, I had a doctor call me who needed to consult. And I was able to answer the phone when he called, but I didn't have time in the moment. And I said to him, well, and I looked at my schedule and I said, I can talk to you. This was on a Tuesday. I said, I can talk to you on Friday at 1:00. I knew exactly when I could talk to him. And he said, well, that's too late. I need something now. And I said, I'm telling you when I can do it. This is the only time I have available. And he, of course, said fine, ultimately, because that's what I had. And he needed the information I had. But instead of this being on a to-do list that I couldn't get till Friday anyway, now it's Tuesday. What would I be thinking on Wednesday when I didn't get to that call? Oh, God, I got to call that doctor back. What would I be thinking on Thursday when I didn't get to that call? Oh, my God, now it's been a couple days. He's going to be really mad. I haven't gotten back to him. Now I really don't want to make the call because I'm stressed, because I know what he's going to be thinking. Sound familiar? Yeah, don't lie. You know this is you. And then I might not have even made the call on Friday because I was so worried about his negative reaction, and maybe I was feeling so conflict avoidant, I didn't want to deal. So then I put it off even longer, making the situation worse. I think this sounds familiar to you. And it could just be cleaning the garage. You look at your schedule, you've got, I've got baseball games and softball games and my own life and writing and traveling and whatever. If I look at that, cleaning the garage would stay on the to-do list forever. But instead, I actually schedule that in. I find a Saturday, it might be 3 months from now, but I find a Saturday that it actually works. I give my family notice, hey, on Saturday, June 22nd, we're going to be cleaning the garage. And I can say that and give people notice, and as it gets closer, I can keep reminding them. And what do? I don't just say clean the garage. I say we're going to clean the garage for 3 hours or for 2 hours or whatever it is. Because clean the garage can go on forever. And instead, I will schedule out on a Saturday 9 to 12 to clean the garage. And whatever gets done, gets done. If we can't get to it all, we don't get to it all. And then I put another clean the garage on the schedule for a later date. Because really thinking that I'm going to clean the garage or that my children are going to clean the garage for 5 or 6 hours is kind of crazy. So instead of setting myself up for failure over and over and over, I set myself up to win. Now, I will tell you in the beginning, this is going to feel artificial. You might struggle with it and go, I don't even know how to schedule all this stuff. I guarantee you, how do you like that? I'll pay you back all the money you just paid for this Facebook Live. I guarantee you will find a happier life on the other side of this. My clients come to me all the time. I get constant feedback about how great the system is once people start using it. When they fight it in the beginning and don't use it, they just see it as a big pain in the butt. But if you really stick to it, and again, sometimes I have an hour scheduled for phone calls, and then I do have a little list somewhere about what calls I have to make. But I actually schedule those personally right into I use my phone schedule. I do put them right in there. But if you have an old school, big pad or whatever you have, whatever system you need to do, a Todoist, or, you can have an online thing, whatever works for you. But I need you to get rid of that idea of just having a to-do list. And instead, if you had something on Todoist, it would be, okay, from 12 to 1 on Tuesday, I'm going to make the calls that I've listed on Todoist. And you'd make those calls, whatever was there. And then you could take that off of that. You have a scheduled time. But really look at it and be realistic. We tend to give ourselves too much credit for how much time something's going to take. We think it's going to be a lot shorter than it is. So if I have, let's say, 4 phone calls, in my head I think, well, reasonably, it's going to be at least 10 minutes for each phone call. But really, I should put 15. If it's shorter, great. If it's not, then I'll have to deal with that. So I put in my world that I can make four phone calls within an hour, it also keeps me on target with people. Instead of just rambling on and doing whatever, I actually will say to them, hey, I have about 15 minutes, let's get to it. And instead of spending time on all the BS, we actually get right to it. Having that kind of time is great. If you are someone who doesn't have a job outside your home and you have to, you're taking care of kids and all that, same thing. Going grocery shopping, instead of that just being going grocery shopping whenever I feel like it, really give yourself maybe an hour, hour and a half an hour, whatever it is, and really think about doing it as a schedule and keep yourself to that. So that I hear this so much. I work with a lot of moms who are stay-at-home moms, women who in their time are staying at home. And they tell me the same thing over and over. I don't know what happens to my day. It just gets away from me. And that's because I think especially for women, and I should say men, there's plenty of stay-at-home dads, whoever you are out there, that's part of the problem. You think you have all day. I've got all day. The kids are at school. I drop them off at 8. I have till 2 or 3, whatever that is. That time goes super fast. By the time you actually get back from school, and if you put in the time you have to take to drive to school to get them, if you do that, unless they take the bus, that's a lot of your day. You maybe have kind of 4, maybe 5 hours left. And in that, you're going to eat, maybe go to the gym, and before you know it, you check email. Before you know it, your day's done. You really have to schedule. You really have to think of the day and really put that in, I would say even more than people who work outside the home to a degree, because you don't have any external forces except the drop off and the pickup to push you. I have external forces. I know if I don't end with my client on time, I have another client waiting and it's going to be late. So there's a push in my day that's natural. You might not have that, or maybe you're a stay-at-home entrepreneur. Maybe you work from home, have that kind of job, and you can't, again, get yourself motivated. Schedule. Jim Rohn, once he said, he's a great inspirational speaker who sadly died some years ago, but he said success is scheduled. And I am a wholehearted believer in that. If you want to have a successful day, set your timer for 15 minutes and start scheduling, getting things off of your to-do list. No more of that. All right, guys, that is it for the day. I'm really happy you're here with me. And if you need any more information, go to my website, abbymedcalf.com, or you can always email me at abby@abbymedcalf.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Send in questions, and I'll talk to you soon.